Hello, this is Sonja from my happy space. Welcome back at my channel. Today I'm going to do my first prompt in my Five journal. This is my newest printable in my Etsy shop, and I have a video to show you how to put a Five journal like this together, and I will link it up here. And with this sort of Five journal bundle, you get everything you need, the pattern papers, the ephemera, and there's a prompt list also with 20 prompts you can choose from to journey your faith. It will be a wonderful present for somebody to give or just for yourself. I'm going to do the prompt number 6 today, which is document a book or books that is sort of encourage you in your faith journey. And I've chosen 4. And these oval numbers is part of the printable, and you can use it obviously to document that this is the number 6 or the first prompt or whatever prompt you decide to do. Obviously, you can do it order. I just sort of go through the prompt list, see what take my fancy, and then I'm going to do it wherever I find a page that is appropriate. So this is more or less how my Faith journal looks. It's like a junk journal. The pattern papers and the journaling pages is part of the bundle, but then the other things like the book pages and things I've just added to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little concertina type of pocket where I want to put my journaling in the 4 books. I will link the video down below which inspired me. I can't remember exactly the name of the video now, but I'll link it down below so you can go and check that out if I don't explain very well. So what I'm doing is I'm just using an old book. It's a beautiful book. I love it. And it's got some Japanese or Chinese lettering in. Unfortunately, I don't 100% sure what it is. But the reason why I chose it is because one of the books is inspired by China and the Christian persecution in China. So I thought that is very appropriate. So I'm just cutting 4 pages and I'm cutting it the same size. I was just putting it in my Faith journal just to make sure it's not too big. So I decided actually to cut it a little bit smaller. So what I'm doing now, as I said, I'm going to make a little concertina fold pocket, which is very, very easy. It sounds much more complicated than it is. So I'm going to fold it over and I'm just going to make literally a pocket. Here you see me just using liquid glue just to glue the sides of these little sort of pockets, and I'm just going to do it with all 4 of the pages. Obviously, I choose 4 pages because I've got 4 journaling cards which I want to pop in there, which is going to tell me about the books that really inspired me and grew my faith. So they are finished now. So I want to, the lady who did the journaling here had some tabs there at the top just to be able to flip them open when you put your journaling in there. So I've decided to use these cute little post-it stamps as sort of folders or tabs so I can take it or pull it over. But I've made a little bit of a mistake, so sort of don't do what I do if you want to follow this tutorial. I've forgot that I have to glue in the middle. So these tabs can't really be, the yellow tab or the yellow stamp can't be really there. It needs to be on either side, on the left hand side or on the right hand side. But you'll understand what I mean when we get there. Now I'm just showing you that with these little stamps you can use a small little hole punch and you can just actually cut in between the little wedges. So then you don't need to sort of fussy cut and go into detail with these stamps because it can be difficult to do it. So yeah, now I'm going to put it on top of each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to literally put glue in the middle of each pocket. And then I'm going to put it on the next one. And here it is where I just realized, but actually now this glue is going to be on top of that yellow stamp. And it's not really going to work. So luckily with liquid glue, if it's not dry yet, you can just gently take it off. It didn't do too much damage to my book page, so I just decided to move it to the either side of the glue. So then I realized that pink one is also exactly where the glue needs to be, so I've just decided to move it to the other side. Obviously you don't have to put these tabs on. I just thought it would be nice just to be able to flip it open, and here you see I'm just putting some more glue in the middle, just securing it. And then I'm just doing it for the last page also. You can obviously use Brit or double-sided tape. I was just using liquid glue. So I'm just making sure it's nice and secure, and I'm just flipping it open to see how my concertina file looks. Obviously, just make sure your glue is dry before you pull it open. Now I'm going to make a flip over envelope. I'm using one of my pattern papers and I'm just making sure it's a little bit bigger than the folder. And when you fold it over, just make sure you don't fold it to the edge so you have some space for your concertina folder and your tabs on top. So as you can see, I'm just making sure that I've got enough space in there, and just to pop it in there and make sure it fits in there. I'm going to give it a hole punch and I'm going to put a ringlet in there and secure it with my crocodile. I know it's not really a crocodile. So I'm just putting a white ringlet in there, or not a ringlet, the eyelet rather, that's the word. And yeah, that I like that how it looks now. And I'm going to decorate it, put my prompt on there just to make sure when I go for my journaling page that I know this is prompt number 6. And as I said, these prompts I find them quite nice just to obviously journey of faith. I think it would be so fun to have this as an heirloom, and one day your children can go through it and see what inspired me. One of the prompts is how I became a Christian, who inspires me, who spurs me on my faith. There's a letter, love letter to God. You can write words of wisdom for your children. If you want to have coffee with a famous person, a Christian person, who would it be? And so I just think it's a fun way of documenting your faith and your journey in your faith. As you can see, I've put these cute little round lace flower on there. I just thought that would look nice. And I've also in the meantime decorated the front of that concertina pocket. And I just said 4 books that inspires me. And then I've got these prayer little journaling cards, which I've got once from Alice Crab. But then I realized I could have actually used my own journaling cards. I got very cute journaling cards. So I just didn't think about it. I was thinking of library cards. Now, this is my first book. It's called Safely Home. It's from Randy Alcon. And it's about the Chinese persecution. And it really just taught me that we've got brothers and sisters in different countries that really struggle, and we need to pray for them and the efforts they go through to go to church, and how we take going to church for granted. Sometimes we're not even feeling like going to church, and they will face death by going to church. And that was such an inspiration to me. This one is my second book. It's Appointment in Jerusalem. It's written by Lydia and Derek Prince. Now, this is a little bit out of my comfort zone. It is very spirit-led, and the way she decided to go and live in Jerusalem and start an orphanage is not, I wouldn't think it's a typical way how I will do it, but it is an extremely inspiring, Christ-filled, spirit-filled book, and it's about her journey of faith and how she went to Jerusalem and how she started this orphanage, being a sort of a secular teacher in Denmark, becoming a Christian, and her faith journey. And it is absolutely amazing story, so it challenged me. The third one might be familiar to you guys. It's The Hiding Place from Corrie ten Boom. And it was just a beautiful book challenging me what I will do, what will I give up to stand for truth. Will I just decide to live in my comfort zone, or am I willing to sacrifice things for standing up for the truth? And she didn't have to hide the Jewish people in her home. It was not a matter of denying her faith if she didn't do it, but she chose to do it because she wanted to be obedient. This one is a woman's guide for hearing God's voice, and it's written by Leanne McCoy, and it's just a good, solid book going through hardships and put things in perspective, how we can grow in our faith when we go through hardship. It's a good, solid biblical doctrine type of a book. It's not a storybook. It's just it takes you through the Bible, stories of the Old Testament, how you can grow in your faith, especially during hard times. And that's really 4 books that stood out for me. I've got many more books. It was difficult to choose it, but these 4 books is the books I've chosen. On the library cards, I've written why I like it, what challenged me about the book. So, yeah, I think it's such a good exercise to do it, to remember it. And now I'm going to put a string and sort of fold it over to close this little envelope. I love this method. I think it would be so nice to make a birthday card or a voucher or something like that, and put a little string bow through it and a little, eyelet. I think it's a cute little package. Now I'm going to look for a place to put it in my junk journal, or not junk, my 5 journal, and I've decided on the sturdy page there, And I've just used one of my journaling cards just to write down the prompt number 6, and exactly what the prompt is about. I'm just securing it with a paper clip. So I hope you like this video. I hope you like this 5 journal bundle I've designed. I love it. I'm really looking forward to working through it, documenting my 5, leaving an heirloom for my children. And yeah, if you like this video, please give it a like. I'll leave all the details down for my Etsy shop down below if you want to pick it up. You must have a fantastic weekend. Thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate it that you take the time out to do so. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.